What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Glock 9 Rico case up to 130 years in prison. So this had just happened like a few days ago, I believe, where all this has finally led up to basically. Uh, they've been doing a lot of stuff like apparently, Glock 9 and his rival Hot Boy and all that. They've been having a lot of war basically within against each other, and there was innocents killed, I believe, stuff like that. I looked at some of the stuff talking about it, but I guess this is like a video explaining like everything, putting it together. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll be uploading on the daily. Share the video, all that. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into this.
Florida's a crazy state. Over the past 10 years, it's produced some of the biggest rappers in the game, but it's also filled with plenty of poverty, crime, and violence that inspires the music and leads to one of the highest murder rates in the country. Recently, the state has been cracking down on any rappers who are really living that life. Pooh Shiesty and Polo G were both hit with charges after performing in Miami, and YFN Lucci was recently hit with a gang indictment that ties into groups in Florida.
That's crazy. They're trying to get all these rappers out of here.
But that's nothing compared to what's going on in Orlando between the AFNF and 438 gangs. Rapper Glock 9 and several others involved in this violent war were just hit with Florida State RICO charges related to murders, extortion, and racketeering. Here's everything we know about the case. Glock 9 is a rapper from Orlando, Florida, known for tracks like 10% and 223. Growing up, the rapper had it pretty tough. He was raised by a single mother while his dad was in and out of prison, and from a young age, he was always getting into trouble. So even as a jit, Glock 9 was wild, and that didn't stop once he started rapping. He released his first track on SoundCloud in 2017 under the name YBJ Quay, eventually changing his name to Glock 9 after the pistol and the local Orlando news Channel 9, which he's been featured on several times.
Glock 9.
He started exclusively releasing his videos on WorldStar, including the track Jail Hizzy Blues, which quickly racked up almost 2 million views in just a few months. He released his debut mixtape, Bloodshell's Revenge, in July 2018, and a few days later signed a $2 million deal with Cash Money Records. Many thought that Glock 9 would be the next hot rapper out of Florida. But at the same time he was blowing up, he was also involved in a violent beef with the crew of another Orlando rapper named Hot Boy. This beef would lead to several shootings and murders that would eventually land the rapper in the situation he's in now. Hot Boy and Glock 9 started out as friends, but while Glock 9 was first blowing up, Hot Boy was behind bars. He set out to be the biggest rapper in Orlando and says that Glock started hating on him because he couldn't take the competition. But the beef would get much...
Oh, wow. It's always over some petty stuff like that. People usually start beefing and it becomes something so big. Like, most beefs don't start over nothing that serious. I noticed that myself.
Competition after bodies on both sides would start dropping like flies.
I went to jail, right? So get a little chance to shine, right? So now when I get out, I take back over. I take back over when I get out. Now they hate me for that? What?
What? Glock is associated with a gang called AFNF, or All Family No Friends, while Hot Boy is a part of a group called 438. The war between these two gangs would terrorize the city of Orlando and lead to the deaths of not only affiliates, but also innocent bystanders, including a high school football player, a 14-year-old, and a 3-year-old child who would all lose their lives due to the beef.
Terrible.
It got so bad that the whole story was covered on the local news channel. Authorities also announced that the FBI was watching the two gangs, which were considered the most dangerous in the city. So it wasn't all that surprising when the rapper got hit with the Florida RICO charge in June 2021. But he wasn't the only one to get caught
literally just happened
up in the indictment. Several other people associated with this beef, including 438 members and members of another rival gang called the Know 'em, Cut 'em, Kill 'em, were also hit with similar charges. Glock is being charged with racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering under the Florida RICO Act. Racketeering is a charge that was created to convict mob bosses of crimes that were committed by members of their organization at their command. It includes a wide range of illegal activity, such as violent crimes, as well as things like drug trafficking, extortion, and even gambling. The law was created to take down the mafia, but in recent years, it's been used to target any street gangs, especially those associated with famous rappers. Rappers like Bobby Shmurda, Casanova, and YFN Lucci have also been hit with racketeering charges because the feds claim they are the ringleaders and shot callers in their circle. Therefore, they're responsible for any crimes their team might commit to benefit the group. Glock is lucky that the feds haven't picked up the case yet, and it's still just a state case, although he's facing a long list of charges, so it isn't exactly going to be easy to beat. The fact that they charge him with conspiracy means they don't have to prove he actually committed any crimes, they just have to prove he contributed to a gang lifestyle that led to crimes being committed. When you add that, on top of all the other charges the rapper is facing, he's gonna have to hire some expensive lawyers to avoid doing serious time. The paperwork on the case is yet to be released, but it has been announced that Glock is one of 10 men being charged in this takedown. The court documents allegedly contain over 700 pages of evidence, and some of the suspects are still on the loose. Hot Boy was not arrested in this case, but his right-hand man, Vanshawn Sands, was. Before getting hit with the RICO charge, Glock 9 was out on bond after being charged with 5 counts of attempted murder. The rapper and an associate named Ballpark allegedly shot up the home of another rival rapper named Cudham Reese, who is also Glock 9's blood cousin. Reese wasn't home at the time of the shooting, but 5 of his family members were, and just barely escaped getting hit.
Damn.
One of them was Reese's sister, who was also Ballpark's half-sister and Glock's cousin. She told police that her cousin was jealous of Reese because he was building a name for himself in the city, and Glock wanted to be the only poppin' rapper from Orlando. She says that she was looking outside the window when Glock and Ballpark got out of the car with guns, and she's positive they were the ones who shot up the house. Glock later accused Reese of snitching in this case, but it seems like he didn't have to. A new Florida state attorney for the area around Orlando was
Fireworks.
sworn into office in January 2021. Taking down the AFNF and 438 gangs was the first item on her agenda. She quickly charged Glock with 5 counts of second-degree attorney for the area around Orlando in this case, but it seems like he didn't have to. A new Florida state attorney for the area around Orlando was sworn into office in January 2021. Taking down the AFNF and 438 gangs was the first item on her agenda. She quickly charged Glock with 5 counts of second-degree attempted murder with a firearm, each of which carries a mandatory minimum of 20 years in prison if he's found guilty. So, altogether, Glock is facing over 100 years in prison just for these charges alone. At the same time, prosecutors began building a case to identify AFNF as a criminal street gang, with Glock 9 as the leader. They've probably been compiling evidence for a long time, but this was the beginning of the arrest that would lead to the RICO charge. But Glock 9 wasn't the only one to get hit with racketeering charges. Ballpark would also get caught up in the indictment after being snitched on by his own half-sister, as with 2 other rival Orlando rappers named Draco Syke and Lil Wavy. Draco was Cudham Reese's brother, and they are allegedly members of the 3300 gang in Orlando, which also goes by the name Noam Cudham Kill'em, or KKK. Both men were charged with the use of electronic communications to promote gangs in the RICO case. Lil Wavy was also out on bond for another charge of aggravated assault with a firearm that stemmed from an altercation at a doctor's office. He and another man allegedly threatened to kill 2 of their ops in front of their own mother. In the waiting room of the Colonial Medical Center, Lil Wavy and another man named MG confronted 2 other men that they had beef with. MG pulled out a Glock, and they both threatened to kill the 2 men while their mother was just a few feet away. After they left, the mother called the police and reported what had happened. Then, Lil Wavy posted a video of the fight to his social media where he said some pretty disrespectful stuff. 3 Block was a man who was murdered in a shooting allegedly committed by the KKK gang. He was also the son and brother of the group that Wavy just threatened. The rapper was later arrested for aggravated assault and hit with another charge of using electronic communications to promote gangs for the video he posted mocking his ops. While he was out on bond for that charge,
What video was they talking about?
he and Draco Syke would get caught up in the gang indictment and both catch some more charges. Another well-known
They
figure
all
in this
going
beef
down.
was
That's
also caught up in
crazy.
the RICO indictment was 438 shooter Vanshawn Sands. Sands was previously arrested in a drive-by shooting that left an AFNF member named Jeremiah Robinson dead, but he was later released after being able to prove that he acted in self-defense. On April 14, 2020, an AFNF affiliate named Demetrius Cox shot and killed Wolf Luma at a house party. Luma was not gang-affiliated, but he was friends with Hot Boy, and his murder was attributed to the beef. Cox was quickly arrested and charged with the murder, and less than 2 weeks later, AFNF struck again. On April 25th, they shot up Luma's vigil, hitting a high school player named Dexter Rance, as well as 3 others. Rance was tragically killed, even though he was not gang-affiliated and was only there to pay respects to Luma. But AFNF still wasn't satisfied, and next they planned a targeted shooting of Vanshawn Sands, one of the most respected members of 438. On July 7, 2020, AFNF members orchestrated a drive-by on a house where Sands was staying. Rather than just duck and hide like a regular citizen, Sands decided to face the ops head-on and started firing back with an AR pistol. He ended up hitting one of the passengers in the car, who was identified as Jeremiah Robinson, aka AFNF Baby Joker. A month after the shooting, the police made an attempt to arrest Sands that left another man dead. Even though Sands had acted in self-defense,
Oh, dude, they slid on him and he bucked at this shit.
he was also a convicted felon and not allowed to possess a firearm. On August 7th, police made an attempt to bring him into custody and swarmed him and 3 of his friends in the parking lot of a mall. Sands immediately surrendered to the cops, but one of his friends named Salathis Melvin took off running. Melvin had nothing to do with the incident that left AFNF Baby Joker dead, but one of the police officers shot him as he tried to make an escape. He died from the shooting, which led to public outrage and accusations of police brutality, as Sands had already surrendered and was cooperating with authorities. Sands was able to prove that the shooting was in self-defense, but he was still hit with the gun charge.
Ooh.
Another person named in the RICO indictment was 438 affiliate Joshua Holder, the alleged getaway driver of an attempted hit on Glock 9 that went down at the mall at Millennia. In October
Damn,
2020,
they ass is really sliding. Like, they sliding.
438 decided to go at the head honcho of the AFNF and try to take him out in broad daylight. Holder allegedly searched the parking lot of the Orlando Mall for their target in a white BMW for about 15 minutes before spotting him. Holder then parked the car and waited while the passengers went into the mall. They fired off several shots at the rapper before getting back in the car and fleeing the scene.
Just within the last couple of minutes, I've confirmed with Orlando police that shots were fired.
That's really a
here
war
at the mall
zone.
at Millennia. They were not fired by Orlando police officers, and the good news is nobody was injured in all this. But I can tell you, driving in, every entrance to the mall at Millennia right now is locked down, sealed down. Nobody is getting inside.
Holder and 2 others were later arrested and charged with attempted murder. Based on all this evidence, it's not hard to see why the cops are cracking down.
They
Broad
tried to
daylight
get that
shootings,
boy.
innocent bystanders getting killed, and mothers and sisters being forced to hide in closets to avoid getting hit, all point to the beef getting out of control. But with so much pain and loss on both sides, it's tough to see an end in sight. Glock 9 has told the media that the prosecutor's portrayal of him as a mastermind behind the gang is totally inaccurate. He said that all the people he allegedly controls are all older than him and that AFNF isn't a gang, it's just a brand and record label. But the fact that the rapper has so many prior charges and that he's the most popular member of the group definitely doesn't help his case.
Smith, who faces an attempted murder charge for a separate drive-by shooting, denied any involvement in a gang during
All
our
them
phone call this
charges.
week.
I feel like they just saying I'm a leader, like they trying to say I'm a gang leader, but I'm not no gang leader. I'm 20 years old. All these wrong behind me, all these people who they trying to say I'm leading is older than me.
AFNF is an LLC that you created for your rap group?
Yeah, it's like a label. It's like my bank. When I get paid through YouTube and all that stuff, my bank that's when it come under AFNF LLC.
Despite all the violence going on in the city, Hot Boy has avoided getting caught up in the drama. Once he started gaining momentum with his music, he moved out of Orlando and has avoided being involved in any violent incidents, leaving the action to his 438 goons. He's done features with huge rappers like Future and Lil Baby, and is in a good position to become a major artist if he can avoid getting
Yeah, he might blow up for real, Honda. And then Glock 9 might be locked up. That's crazy how the tables be turning.
caught up in this indictment and the streets in general. On the other hand, things aren't looking great for Glock 9. He's already facing over 100 years in prison for the attempted murder, which has a documented eyewitness and a clear motive. Now he's facing the additional RICO charge, which carries a 30-year minimum sentence. Even if he's able to miraculously beat the charges, he'll likely end up going broke trying to fight the case. Although he's definitely built a buzz, he doesn't have any major hits or a stockpile of music that'll keep his fans satisfied until he's free. The best thing for him to do right now is lawyer up and keep his head down. Anything that happened in the
Glock
streets with
9.
the AFNF name attached to it will just add more evidence that could be used to take him down. So, if he really is the gang leader that the prosecutors say he is, he'll have to tell his soldiers to chill out until the heat dies down. At this point, it's tough to know what kind of evidence the court has against him because the paperwork is still private. But with all the information that's on public record, it's gonna be pretty tough for the rapper to prove his innocence. If you thought this video was crazy, be sure to check out our channel for more. From rappers' biggest police raids to rappers who ran from cops, we cover the most insane stories that you need to hear. Also, subscribe to our second channel where we cover how rappers spend and invest their money. Well, that's all for today. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Comment below what you want to see next. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any great videos like this. Catch you in the next one.
That's wild, bro. This one of the more wild videos I ever watched, honestly, in terms of like street stuff. Free Glock 9 though, man. Free Glock 9. And the rest of them, and RIP, all the people who, you know, lost their life and stuff. And Hot Boy though, he's about to do his thing, I guess. But yeah, free everybody, RIP everybody, man, involved in this stuff, for real, you know. It's another tragic thing from the streets yet again. But this one is definitely more wild than most of them, like, cause they was really sliding everywhere. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that, the truth, cause that's definitely wild. Yeah, Glock 9. Hopefully he beats the case, man. He definitely was like a promising rapper, for real. And I'm curious to see how Hot Boy does and all that. But I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. And remember, y'all, stay positive and have a great day. And turn up for the 4th, man. You know what I'm saying? Turn up for the 4th of July. But, alright, y'all.